Hey everyone, I'm Aaron Nam, CEO of Dynav. Today I'll walk through our AI statement of work generator. This is a tool where we took the hours spent manually drafting contracts from sales calls, which is a classic bottleneck, and we built an AI-assisted workflow that gets it done in minutes. So let's go to the tool. It's virtually behind me, and we'll see what that looks like in practice. Okay, so this is our AI statement of work generator, which again was born out of the need to solve a real business problem for us. And just to paint the scene of what it was like before this tool, I think some of us know how it goes when you're working with a client. You have a really productive sales call and everyone's excited about working together. And then you have to spend hours putting together a statement of work. And we'd be going through our notes, our sales call transcripts, and trying to remember everything that was discussed. And yet still we would have things slip through the cracks. And these statements of work would take hours, days sometimes. Not great when you're trying to keep momentum with a client, obviously. So we thought this would be the perfect use case for AI. What if we could just feed in all of our call transcripts, get a professional statement of work draft, minutes instead of hours? Sounds great. So here's what we came up with. It's a simple interface, nothing fancy, just very practical. Let's say we just finished a call with a client called Global Tech about their IT support voice assistant, similar to something we've done in the past. And I'll use this example transcript, but you could upload a PDF or Word doc. You could also paste it in your own call transcripts, but to make it easy for this demo, I just built this example. And this is a typical sales call between our team and the folks at Global Tech, their needs, our potential solutions. What's nice here is you can add additional project parameters, timeline considerations, team composition, budget. Let's say it has to be 100K. And then technical considerations, let's say it has to be built on AWS. And then at the bottom here, you can also add additional context. So follow-up emails, any internal notes, you can add those right there. More context usually means better output for us, the way that we built this. And with that, you could just hit generate SOW and watch it work. So while it's generating, let me tell you what's happening behind the scenes a little bit. It's using Claude Sonnet 3.7 to analyze the conversation, figuring out the client's needs, what was promised, timelines, deliverables, and then it's also inferring things. We trained it on our best SOWs from past projects. So it understands what makes a good document for different types of clients and projects that are related. And so it'll adapt the format and language based on a specific conversation. So great, it's done. Let me give you a quick tour of what it created. It starts pretty standardly with the executive summary, and then it breaks down the detailed requirements, the project overview, the scope of work. It'll go into the deliverables, which I really like, and I like also how it has what's in scope and what's out of scope. And also there's a nice timelines and milestone section. So it'll plan out the work for you. And it's a first pass at that team structure, and then your signature blocks at the bottom. And again, what I expect out of this is not 100% done statement of work. It's a V1 for us to edit. And so it'll propose some things if they were not discussed in the call. So for example, sometimes in the calls, you don't go into the deep parts of what's being done in each phase, but it'll project it. And then I'll say, actually, you know what? We're not going to do a deployment to a limited number of groups. You can just delete that. Or let's say, for example, we thought that we didn't go into enough technical depth when we were talking about the infrastructure setup. One feature I really like is Edit with AI, which you can click and press Add Technical Details, and it'll generate some text that you can then apply and put in, which is really nice. When you're happy with everything, you can scroll back up, hit Actions, copy to clipboard, download as a Word file, and then send it off to your client. Okay, so that statement of work generator, it's a real world example of how we at Dynav are capturing tangible ROI with AI right now. We identified a specific operational friction point, the significant time drain of manual contract drafting, and applied AI to create real leverage. This moved us from hours of work down to a quick review process that frees up our team's time. Again, this focused approach, surgically targeting bottlenecks to unlock immediate value, that's exactly where I think business operators can find significant alpha today without waiting for massive, complex rollouts. This statement of work generator is just one way we're putting these principles in practice here at Dynav. And I really believe there's immense potential in applying AI pragmatically like this. And I'm excited to share some more examples of AI-driven execution that deliver real business results.